Hi everyone, welcome back to the Jodoo Masterclass series. As we all know, the proceeding of a workflow adheres to some certain rules. Today, we are diving into 4 basic rules. The first type is called countersign workflow. In this kind of workflow, if a node has more than one approver, all approvers can receive a message of workflow pending at the same time. Only if the node is passed by all approvers can the workflow proceed to the next node. For instance, in this leave application workflow, on the approval node, there are 2 persons in charge, Jodoo official and Lin. After one employee submits a leave request, only with both J and L submitting approval can the workflow be completed. Let's see how to configure. First, select the leave application workflow form. Click Edit. Then click Workflow and click on the approval node. We set Jodoo official and Lin as node approvers. And below, in Proceed to the next node when, we change the condition into All approvers submit. Then we click Save in the upper right corner. Let's see how this works in an actual use case. Click this workflow form we just set and submit one record. One of the approvers opens this request in My Tasks, clicks Approve and submit the workflow. And we can see the workflow is still on the approval node and hasn't yet proceeded to the next node because we need approval from the other approver Lin. Switch to the account of the other approver. Still, open this request in My Tasks. Click Approve and submit the workflow. Now, the workflow status is completed. Next, let's talk about the second type, alternative sign workflow. In this kind of workflow, if a node has more than one approver, all approvers can receive a message of workflow pending at the same time. When the node is passed by any of the approvers, the workflow will proceed to the next node. For instance, still in this leave application workflow, on the approval node, there are 2 persons in charge, Jodoo official and Lin. Either J or L submits approval, the workflow can be completed and the leave request will be passed. Let's see how we can set it up. Still in the workflow designing page of this leave application workflow. Still, we set Jodoo official and Lin as node approvers. And below, in Proceed to the next node when, we change this condition into one approver submits. Then we click Save. Let's have a test and see how this works in an actual use case. Let's say Erica submits a leave request. One of the approvers opens this request in My Tasks, clicks Approve and submit the workflow. And we can see the workflow status is completed. This means with just one approver submitting approval, the workflow will proceed. Now let's explore the third type, conditional workflow. In this kind of workflow, there are multiple branches. How data circulates is decided by certain conditions. For example, in this vehicle application workflow, when the borrowing duration days exceeds or equals to 10, it needs to be approved by Jodoo official first, a manager of higher level. He is the charger of node approval 1. Then the request will be approved by Lin, the vehicle coordinator. She is the charger of node approval 2. When the number is less than 10, it can be directly circulated to Lin. Let's see how we can configure. First, select the Vehicle Application Workflow form. In the Workflow Designing page, we set Jodoo official as the node approver of Approval 1 and Lin as the node approver of Approval 2. Click the line which connects the Start node and Approval 1 node. In Node Connection, we click Add Condition, select Duration field, and set the condition into is greater than or equal to 10 days. Click the line which connects the Start node and Approval 2 node. In Node Connection, we selected Excluded by other nodes. Then, let's see how it works. Click this workflow form we just set and submit one record. The duration days are 12. we can see that the workflow has proceeded to approval 1, meaning that when the duration days exceed or equal to 10, the workflow needs to be first approved by the hire manager. Next, we submit another form, and the duration days are 5. Let's check. The workflow is now waiting for Lynn's approval, meaning that when the direction days are less than 10, the workflow can directly go to Vehicle Coordinator's approval. Here are some additional notes for conditional workflows. 1. Set conditions for each branch if there are multiple branches. 2. The workflow cannot proceed normally when the conditions do not cover all situations. 3. The workflow will enter multiple branches at the same time and be approved separately when it meets multiple conditions. Finally, the fourth type is called parallel workflow. In this kind of workflow, the approvers on the task nodes will receive messages simultaneously and handle on their own without disturbing each other. When all of them submit approval, the workflow can flow to the next node. For instance, in this vehicle application, both the finance department and marketing department should approve the workflow before it flows to the next node. Let's see how we can set it up. Select this vehicle application workflow and in the designing page, we set 2 radio fields for the review of marketing department and finance department respectively. Then click workflow. We need to create 2 task nodes. And every task nodes have different view and edit permissions. Lastly, don't forget to save. Let's see how it works. Let's say Erica initiates a vehicle application, and the finance department submits approval. Now we can see the workflow is waiting for the approval of marketing department. Only when both subnodes submit approval, the workflow can go to the end. Here are some additional notes for parallel workflows. 1. In the parallel workflow, if any of the subtask nodes submits return, the workflow can't proceed to the next node. 2. Then when the workflow is resubmitted, it goes to the subtask node which previously submitted return. And that's it for today's tutorial. Now you know the basic rules of workflow proceeding. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a new video clip. Have any questions? Drop them in the comments below. We're always here to help. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.